This is the start of an experiment with seeing how the worms will do with a dish. It's a Filipino dish called Pancit Bihon. It's noodles made from rice. There's some carrots in there and some meat in there too as well. There's broccoli. I don't know what other kind of vegetables in there. But the meat in there, I believe, is chicken and a little bit of shrimp. So the experiment is to put them in bins of red worms, blue worms, and African night crawlers, because that's the 3 different types of worms that I have at this time, and put them in these containers. There will not be any other filler, no bedding, no whatever else in these, just the food. Put them in their bins and see how well they do. With or without it, will they avoid it? Will they eat it? Will they eventually eat it? And that's what it is. I will be back after I get this all prepared and go through their bins. Alright, day 0. I'm just putting in, this is the red worm bin. I've already fluffed it up, gone through it. This bin, I want them to, there's some unfinished food already in the bin, but I want them to go through the bedding for this month. Hopefully I'll be able to harvest it after this month, but we will see how well this does. We'll check it every week. And I'm just putting it at the bottom of the bin. Now on to the next bin. Here's the blue worm bin. Here's the container with the Pancit Bihon. There's like a half a cup. This container holds half a cup. Each of these containers have been drilled with multiple holes on the side. They're about a 1/4 inch in diameter. And so that's it for this bin. Now on to the African nightcrawler bin. This is the African nightcrawler bin, just as with the other 2 bins. I've already gone ahead and fluffed it up. Let me go ahead and make a spot right here in the back. Make sure it's on the bottom. Like the other bins, there are still some unprocessed food in there. I will go ahead and check up on these. See how they've done on it, if they've even moved in on it. But there's a goodly amount of African night crawlers in here of all different shapes and sizes. These are my favorite worms, just because they're I love their colors, and they can eat a lot, so they can process a lot of food. Now, okay, well, we'll check back on this in another week and go from there. And thank you for coming on this journey with me. This is first checkup of the Pancit Bihon. See how they're doing. Pancit Bihon experiment. Let's see if they've even gone into this container. Doesn't look like they've gone into it at all. I'm not going to open it up. It's smelly. Nope, they haven't gone into it at all. And there's just mold. Okay. Now to check the other bin. This is the red worm bin, if I didn't already state that. This is the blue worm Pancit Bihon experiment bin. Check here on the side. I think from now on I'm going to put it in the middle, in the center, so it's easier for them to find instead of here on the side. But let's see if anything's gone through this one. It's hard to see, but looks like the same result, just mold at the top and stinky. Okay, on to the next bin. Here's the African nightcrawler bin, Pancit Bihon. There's some close by to the bin container. See if they've gone in it. Well, there's underneath, outside of the container. I don't see any inside. Open it up. This is what it looks like. Moldy and breaking down. Some pot worms. That's all there is on this. So I'll put it in the center like the others, and we'll check again next week. This is the Pancit Bihon check, red worm bin. Checking it a couple days early. Going to be gone for 3 weeks, so I have no idea what's going to happen with this experiment. Oh yeah, it was in the center that I put it in last. Well, I do see a bunch of worms around it. Let's see if it went inside. No, I don't see any inside. Let's see. It smells though. It smells bad. Some worms. I think I'll just cover it up and then leave it. It'll be left for like 3 weeks, unfortunately. But that's all I can do with this. Oops, I put this upside down. So I suspect that's the same for the other 2 bins, because I didn't cover it. Looks like they want to get in it, but it just doesn't have any of their microbes in it. So this will be like this. Okay, on to the next bin. This is the Bihon check with the blue worm bin. There's some blue worms here up at the top. Anyway, it's here in the center. Let's check it out. Probably be like the red worms bin where there's nothing in there. They didn't go inside at all. Only because I think there's too much air in the gap. So I think I'm going to need to just put some bedding. I mean, it was full when I filled it up, but of course it goes down. So I'm just going to add some bedding. And just have to check it. I mean, it smells like, ugh. And we'll just have to check it. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks, so it kind of wrecks my experiment here. Okay. On to the next bin. This is the Bihon check with the African Nightcrawler bin. Let's see, there's somebody who came to say hi to us. But let's check on the center here. I think with the other, we'll have the same results as the other two, where I need to add bedding because there's too much air in here. It's pretty foul in here, the smell. Yeah, and there's beetles galore. Interesting, because there weren't any beetles in the other one. In the other two, actually. So we'll just go ahead and fill that up. And close it up. And come back in 3 weeks. Let's see how this has done, because I'm going to be out of town unexpectedly. So, until next time. Alright, this is the check on the Pancit Bihon breakdown. This is the red worm bin. It's been 3 weeks. I had to leave and couldn't continue this every week. But I recall the last time I had added, let's see, what did I add? Just some of their bedding in the container with the pancit. And, well, let's see how they're doing. Get in some better light here. I think it was put in the middle. Yes. Let's see if they've eaten it at all. Huh. Well, let's see what happened here. It was full of bedding up at the top. See if I can even open this with one hand. Ugh. What happened here? Well, there's a bunch of mites in there. And it looked like it turned to mush. What do you think happened? Well, I guess it was kind of mushy. There's just a teeny bit of smell, bad smell. What happened to the bedding on the top? Ugh, it stinks. I think because, well, that's something I will try. I think I'll try next. Because of the pancit was stuck on the bottom. And not, I think I'll do that next. Next experiment, I will mix. I still have some of that pancit in my fridge. So what I will do on the next experiment, look at that. There's worm in there. There was a worm in there. Let's see if there's anything recognizable. It smells like sludge. I think that's what I'll do. Next experiment, let me fluff this up. I will mix it with the bedding, with moist bedding, and not their current bedding, but them just moist bedding, and see what happens. See if it breaks down much. They still have bedding here that they could anyway, let me leave this and check the other two bins. So this was the red worm bin. Be back in a sec. Alright, here's the blue worm bin with the Pancit Bihon in it. See if they've done anything with it. Well, I know I filled it up with bedding. Moist bedding. There's a worm right here. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Well, there's some bedding left and some mites in here. Let me get a better light. Mites in here, and actually this does not smell at all. No smell at all. No bad smell. It smells earthy, so trying to see if there's any worms in here. I don't really see any worms, just some mites, which I will clean up. And let's look in here what was left. Interesting. No bad smell at all. I don't see any meat pieces. Anyway, well, it has been 3 weeks since I last checked on it. Okay, I will mix this up and let me go get the other bin. Alright, this is the check on the African Nightcrawler Pancit Bihon experiment bin. And oh, there's a bunch of African Nightcrawlers on the top, which is cool to see. Anyway, let's check in the center for the Pancit Bihon. I'm sure it'll be like the others where it was broken down, maybe even gone. Oh my goodness. This is super duper light. Like, there may not even be anything in here. Okay, if I can just open it. Oh my goodness. There. Wow. Well, I see castings. and some of the bedding. Well, I'm pretty, well, yeah, because that was some of their bedding. Well, there's no Pancit Bihon left. Nothing. That was weird. There was a baby African nightcrawler in there, but that's it. Wow. That's amazing. But they took it all out with them. And there's baby. Baby in there. But it has been 3 weeks. So I would say that if the Pancit Bihon is mixed with bedding, moist bedding, then they will get to it a lot quicker than if it's not. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'll stick it in a container or just put them in the bins here. But food containing mixed vegetables, noodles. The Pancit Bihon had in it pieces of shrimp and chicken. So they will eat the meat as well. Depending on the worm type, I think the African night crawlers are more ravenous. Then next would be the blue worms. And then lastly would be the red wigglers. Only because the red wigglers, they had broken it down, but it was like not broken down all the way. They didn't get into it fully. So that is the conclusion for this experiment. I thank you for coming on this journey with me.